Your mother in the heavenly realm is urgently calling you. And if you keep delaying until tomorrow, you may miss a door that mercy has opened for you today. My beloved child, I want you to quiet yourself in this moment, not with fear, but with a heart that knows how to recognize the gentle call touching you. There are messages that do not arrive when you are free, nor do they wait until you are completely ready, because the most important things often come in the middle of your busyness, your weariness, or your belief that you can leave everything for another day. But today, I say to you, do not let tomorrow steal what today can heal. Do not let delay become the veil that keeps you from entering the peace you have longed for. Your mother, in the realm of light, is not as distant as you once thought. Her love has not faded with time, nor has it been buried beneath the dust of years gone by. There are bonds that separation cannot cut. Embraces that, though no longer present in the old way, still continue to shelter you in the hours when you are weakest. She has seen you on the days when you tried to appear normal, while waves were rising within you that no one fully understood. She has seen the times you quietly swallowed your tears, the moments you stood in a crowd yet still felt alone, the times you smiled to reassure others while you yourself did not know how to comfort your own heart. And because that love has never ceased, this call is being placed within your heart today. What she needs from you is not something beyond your strength, nor is it a new burden placed upon your shoulders. She does not come to blame you for what you have not been able to do, nor to reopen old mistakes like a wound being touched again. She comes with the tenderness of a mother, desiring only that you remember what you once forgot, that you are still worthy of peace, that you can still be healed, and that you can continue walking without dragging old pieces of pain with every step. Perhaps you have carried regret in your heart for too long. Perhaps you have allowed a word spoken years ago to continue defining you. Perhaps you still quietly blame yourself for what was lost, for what was left unsaid, for a farewell that was never complete. But I speak to you in love. You were not born to live forever in the chains of regret. Hear this clearly. My beloved child, what is being asked of you today is openness. That alone. And yet, that very thing can change the direction of your life. When a heart has been closed for too long, it begins to grow familiar with darkness and call it safety. When a person has been wounded too deeply, they may begin to think that holding tightly to pain is the only way not to betray a memory. But your mother does not want the memory of her to become a burden that keeps you from living fully. She wants you to remember love, not only loss. She wants you to keep the light, not only hold the day of separation. She wants you to know that what has passed is not the final period of your story, but a sacred part that has added depth, compassion, and strength to what you now carry. Perhaps in recent days, you have felt something rising within you that you could not name. A stirring when you heard an old song, an image suddenly appearing in your memory, a dream that made you wake with a quieted heart, a feeling as though someone were reminding you to stop, pray, forgive, or let go. Do not rush to call it coincidence. Some signs come very small, yet their weight is greater than all the noise outside. I have used many ways to touch you, not to confuse you, but to help you recognize that the time of healing is drawing near. Today is not an ordinary day if you respond with sincerity. You have carried too much in silence, There are responsibilities you have told no one about. Sorrows you have hidden behind a strong appearance. Nights when you wondered whether anyone truly understood you. I have seen it all. And none of what you have endured has been considered small. Your mother knows too. She knows how hard you have tried to stand firm. She knows how many times you told yourself to keep going while something inside you was cracked. She knows the long seasons you walked through without that familiar hand beside you. But my child, love does not end simply because a form is no longer before your eyes. There are prayers of affection still echoing in the realm of light. There are good things still being sent to you through pathways ordinary eyes cannot see. Therefore, what your mother desires from you is not that you return to the past and remain there forever, but that you have the courage to step out of the old rooms of sorrow. She asks you to release what has made your heart heavy. Letting go does not mean denying, and it does not mean forgetting. To let go is to return to love what you no longer have the strength to carry. To let go is to allow memory to become warmth instead of a blade cutting into the heart. To let go is to accept that you can love someone who has passed on and still continue to live. Still smile. Still open your heart to new days. And still receive blessing without feeling guilty. You are allowed to be at peace. You are allowed to be happy. You are allowed to begin again. If there is one thing she wants you to do today, it is to return to that pure connection through a sincere act. You may light a candle in your heart. Tell her the things you never had the chance to say. Write down a word of gratitude. Forgive yourself. Or pray with the simplest words. Do not wait until your emotions are perfect. Do not wait until you no longer feel pain. It is precisely while you are still hurting that the opening of your heart becomes precious. Say, I have heard. I am ready to lay down what is too heavy. I am ready to receive peace. And when you say this, the space within you will begin to change. A little lightness will return. A small opening of light will appear. A tenderness you thought was lost will touch the hidden place within you again. I know there are times when you fear that if you move forward, it means you are leaving behind the one who loved you. But my beloved child, it is not so. The one who truly loves you would not want you to remain trapped forever in tears. True love does not imprison you in a temple of sorrow. True love lifts you up, wipes your face, straightens your garment, and whispers that you still have a path to walk. Your mother wants you to live with the most beautiful things she planted in you: kindness, endurance, compassion, the ability to love, and faith that after the dark season, dawn still comes. Those things have not died. They continue to bloom within you. So do not let doubt speak louder than the stirring you are feeling. Do not tell yourself that you are imagining too much. And do not extinguish the warmth rising within your heart. There are moments given to open the way. And this is one of them. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to do anything loud. You do not need to turn your pain into a performance. You only need to be honest before me. You only need to let your heart soften. You only need to dare to admit that you still remember, still love, still need healing, and are still willing to step into a new season. I am with you in this moment. I am in the silence around you, in the breath you are holding, in the tear if it falls, in the small piece that is trying to find its way back. Your mother is not asking you to carry more. She is asking you to lay something down. She is not asking you to become perfect. She is asking you to open the door. She is not asking you to forget. She is asking you to remember through love instead of pain. And when you answer that call, you will see a quiet shift begin. Your mind will become clearer, your heart lighter, your steps steadier, and the road ahead will no longer feel as cold as it once did. Today, choose to listen. Today, choose to let go. Today, let the love that never went out guide you back to the peace I prepared for you long ago. There have been moments when you wanted to move forward, yet something deep within you kept pulling you back to look behind. You tried to gather all your strength to appear steady, so that no one would see the trembling inside, so that you could continue through long days with a heavy load upon your shoulders, not knowing where to set it down. You told yourself that you had to be strong, had to endure, had to keep going, because if you stopped, everything might break open. But I see what you try to hide. Your mother in the heavenly realm sees it too. She sees your precious endurance. But she also sees the silent weariness covering your heart like a cold mist. She does not blame you for trying. She does not see your tears as weakness. She is only calling you gently to come closer, so you may understand that not every burden you have carried was meant to remain on your shoulders forever. My beloved child, there are things you have held for so long that you have begun to think they are part of you. Those memories, those wounds, those words left unsaid, those times you were left in silence, all of them once taught you to lock the inner door tightly. Not because you wanted to forget, not because you were heartless, but because every time you thought of them, it felt as though an old place within you was being touched again, as though a pain that had been sleeping woke and pulled you back to the place you tried to escape. So you hid them away. You placed them in the dark rooms of memory and locked them with busyness, with a smile, with the words, "I'm fine," with the days when you tried to do everything well so that no one would ask where you were truly hurting. I understand why you did that. Your mother in the heavenly realm understands too. She does not stand far away to judge you, nor does she blame you for protecting yourself in the only way you knew during weary seasons. When a heart has been struck many times, it often learns to build high walls. When a person has been wounded by what they could not control, they often believe that hiding is safety, that silence is survival, and that if they do not speak of it, the pain will slowly disappear. But my child, some things that are buried do not vanish. They quietly take up space within you, making your steps heavier, your joy more hesitant, and your heart afraid to open to the very things that could heal you. That is why, today, I am not calling you to fight more. I am not telling you to brace yourself again. I am not placing before you a new battle in which you must prove your courage. What I and your mother in the heavenly realm are inviting you into is a different kind of courage. The courage to let go, the courage to exhale, the courage to admit that certain things have hurt you, the courage to stop pretending they do not exist. Healing does not always begin with a shout of victory. Sometimes it begins with a very quiet confession, "I am tired." Sometimes it begins when you allow yourself to cry without blaming yourself. Sometimes it begins when you open your hand and say, "This has stayed with me for too long, but it no longer has the right to lead me." You once thought that if you held tightly to memory, you could control it. But in truth, what is held for too long can sometimes begin to hold you back. It makes you react to the present with the fear of the past. It makes you doubt beautiful things because you once watched something beautiful change color. It makes you want to step forward while your feet hesitate, because part of you is still looking toward the place that wounded you. I do not blame you for that slowness. I know there are wounds that time alone cannot heal. Some things need to be brought into the light, not so they can hurt you again, but so they can lose their quiet power over your life. My light does not come to expose you in shame. My light comes to loosen the invisible cords that tied you to what is old. Your mother in the heavenly realm is standing very close in that sacred meaning. She does not come with reproach, but with the soft embrace of understanding. She knows there were nights when you wondered why you were still not completely lighter. Even though you tried to forgive, tried to forget, tried to live well, and tried to move on. She knows there were times when you smiled among others, but when you returned alone, your heart became strangely silent. She knows you have done everything you could not to become bitter. And that is what makes her love you even more. She does not want you to continue confusing strength with endless endurance. True strength is not carrying forever what has exhausted you. True strength is recognizing that the time has come to lay the burden down beneath my light. Let those memories be named. My beloved child, there is no need to rush. No need to force yourself to open every door in a single day. But do not keep locking them away as though they were your fault. What happened does not define your worth. What others did, said, neglected, or caused you to endure does not have the right to become a sentence over your future. I want you to look back, not to sink into it, but to recognize that you survived, that you grew, that you were preserved, and that you still have the ability to receive peace. The past may explain why you hurt, but it is not allowed to decide how you will love, trust, and walk in the days ahead. When you bring those things into the light, you will not be abandoned in the nakedness of pain. I will be there. The tenderness of heaven will be there. Your mother in the heavenly realm will be like a warmth, reminding you that you do not need to be ashamed of what you have endured. Let the truth be spoken within your heart. Let tears wash away the layers of endurance that have been sealed shut for too long. Let forgiveness, when it comes at the right time, no longer be something you force yourself to do, but a cool stream flowing through dry land. And if today you can only release one very small part, even that small part is a sacred beginning. I do not despise tiny steps. I cherish them, because I know each step you take carries a long history of effort. You do not need to try to become someone who has never been wounded. I do not need you to paint the past in beautiful colors to satisfy anyone. I only want you to be free from its power. There are things you have carried because you thought there was no other choice. But today, I open a door before you. That door is not noisy, nor does it shine in the way the world expects, but it leads to true relief. It begins when you believe that you are allowed to let go. You are allowed to stop being the guardian of old pain. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to receive healing. You are allowed to move forward without looking back every time something reminds you of what has passed. So come near to me, my beloved child, with everything you have hidden for too long. Do not fear the light. Do not fear the truth. Do not fear the tears that may fall when the door of memory opens slightly. I do not lead you back to pain in order to leave you there. I lead you through it so you can come out from under its hold. Your mother in the heavenly realm is inviting you to release your grip, not because she does not understand your pain, but because she understands that you have carried it for too long. What I need from you now is not more effort to hold yourself together, but faith soft enough to lay things down. And when you lay them down, you will see that your hands are not empty. They will be filled with peace, with lightness, with new hope, and with the ability to step into tomorrow with a heart no longer pulled backward by what has passed. There is something profoundly sacred in the bond you still carry with her, even though she is no longer beside you in the way your eyes were once accustomed to seeing. My beloved child, I want you to hear this with the greatest tenderness. True love does not end simply because a form has left the room, because a voice no longer sounds as it once did, or because a hand no longer touches yours in ordinary moments. Some connections are woven with such deep affection that the separation of this world cannot sever them. What you thought was lost may sometimes only have changed its form. It no longer comes to you through familiar footsteps, through a beloved voice in the morning, through the simple reminders you once heard, but it can still touch you through sudden peace, through a memory that lights up in the middle of a weary day, through an unexpected warmth, as though someone were placing a hand upon your shoulder and saying, "You are still loved." I know you have often tried to push that feeling away, not because you do not love her, but because you fear that if you allow yourself to feel it, the longing will return stronger than your strength can bear. You taught yourself to be silent, to be firm, to move forward as though your heart no longer trembled whenever a small thing reminded you of her. But my child, not every memory is sent to hurt you. Some memories are little lamps I place along the road, so that when you pass through dark stretches, you remember that you were once held, once sheltered, once called by unconditional love. She does not want her presence within you to become a closed room filled with tears. She wants that love to be transformed into strength, courage, and a gentle flame that helps you continue forward without denying what has passed. What you need to do now is not to cling to loss like a heavy garment worn forever on your shoulders. What you need is to allow longing to be sanctified into support. When you remember her, do not remember only the day of separation. Remember also the days when you were loved, taught, and seen with tender eyes. Do not let your heart stop only at the emptiness she left behind. Look at the seeds she planted within you: kindness, patience, the way you care, the way you still try to rise even when you feel broken inside. Those things have not disappeared. They live in the way you face life, in the way you choose to love, in the way you endure without losing your softness. That is part of the quiet inheritance she gave you. And I want you to receive it not with lonely tears, but with deep gratitude. For a long time, you have stood at the threshold of a decision you yourself did not recognize. One part of you wanted to keep carrying everything in silence, as though endurance were the only way to prove you were strong. Another part has been quietly calling you to open the door. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to enter a new season where you do not need to forget her in order to be at peace, nor suffer forever in order to prove that your love was real. My beloved child, peace does not betray the one you love. Joy returning does not mean you have forgotten. Moving forward is not turning your back on the past. Sometimes moving forward is the most beautiful way to honor the one who loved you. Because true love always desires that you live, bloom, and find light again in the places that seemed closed. Your mother in the high and radiant place does not force you to change in one day, nor does she blame you for the years when your heart was heavy. Her love does not come to demand perfection, but to remind you that you still have a road ahead, and you were not born only to remain in sorrow. It is as though she is reaching her arms toward you with tenderness, not to pull you back into old days, but to encourage you to move forward with a heart more healed than before. She knows what you can become. She knows the good things still waiting for you. She knows you have been tired, that you have questioned too much, that you have tried to understand why the answers did not come at the very time you needed them most. And even in that delay, I have still been quietly preparing a new steadfastness for you. Perhaps you have felt abandoned in the moments when you needed guidance. Perhaps you have looked upward in silence and wondered why peace still seemed beyond reach. Perhaps there were nights when you spoke no words. Yet, within your heart, there was a long rain falling. I saw it all. My child, I saw you trying to appear fine when no one asked more deeply. I saw you smiling at others and then returning to the room where longing was already waiting. I saw the times you wanted to be held but did not know where to find that embrace. And I say to you, you were not abandoned. Some answers do not come like thunder, they come like dawn. Slowly, gently, little by little, until you realize you are no longer in the same painful place as before. The step you are being invited to take today does not need to look great in the eyes of the world. It may be only an acknowledgement within your heart, I still love, but I am also ready to be healed. It may be allowing yourself to speak to her with words you have never spoken, not to pull her back, but to release what has been held too long in silence. It may be doing something beautiful in the name of that love, forgiving yourself, caring for yourself more kindly, returning to a dream you had left unfinished, or opening your heart to receive help you once refused. That small thing is not small in my eyes. One step taken while the heart is trembling is still a courageous step. One yes to healing can open an entire door you thought had been closed forever. So, my beloved child, do not fear that connection. Do not see it as a chain of loss, but recognize it as a golden thread of love purified through time. She does not want you trapped in the most painful day. She wants you to remember love, not only absence. I also want you to know that I am using the very thing that once hurt you to lift you in a gentler way. The peace you seek is drawing closer when you stop resisting the emotions that need to be embraced. The direction you long for will become clearer when you no longer let fear decide for you. And the answer you have been waiting for will begin to appear when you dare to believe that love can still guide you. Not from behind like a sorrowful shadow, but from ahead like a lamp. Step forward. My child, even if it is only one small step, let your heart soften without fearing that you are weak. Allow her love to become support, no longer a wound that remains forever open. I am here to guide you, to hold you, to remind you that what was precious in your life has not been erased, but is being transformed into a companioning light. You do not need to forget in order to be free. You only need to let me heal the way you remember. And when you are able to do this, you will see that she no longer belongs only to the days that have passed. Her love, by my permission, you can become a tender part of the road you are still walking. I want you to understand that nothing has been withheld from you without a deeper purpose. The things you have not yet received, the doors not yet opened, the answers still resting in silence, none of these are signs that you have been forgotten. They are the way sacred love has been preserving you from stepping into a new season while your heart still carries too many burdens from the old days. You once thought delay was a punishment, that this quiet space was proof that you were not worthy enough. But I say to you, it is not so. The time you are passing through is not meaningless delay, but a hidden, gentle, and wise preparation. There are blessings that, if they came too soon, would make you weary instead of joyful, because you had not yet been lightened from the memories that wounded you. There are opportunities that, if handed to you while your heart was still tangled, would make you cling to them with fear of loss instead of receiving them in peace. Therefore, I am teaching you to let go one thing at a time, the words that hurt you, the old images that return at night, and even the need to understand completely why everything happened as it did. You do not need to carry every mark of yesterday into the tomorrow I have prepared for you. Look at yourself. My beloved child, you are no longer the person you were in former days. Even though sometimes you still feel tender, even though at times your heart still trembles before an unexpected memory, something within you has quietly grown. You have learned how to remain silent without losing your dignity. You have learned how to leave what no longer nourishes your peace. You have learned how to rise without needing anyone's applause. These changes may not be loud, but in my eyes, they are as precious as gold refined by fire. What is being asked of you in this season is not meant to exhaust you, but to refine within you a pure endurance. I am expanding your heart so it can receive something greater without being pulled backward by the past. I am renewing your vision so you will no longer judge the future by what once hurt you. I am resetting the foundation within you so that when blessing comes, you will not fear, doubt, or wonder whether you are worthy. You will know how to receive, because you have been prepared in the hidden place. So do not resist this season of preparation. Let silence teach you how to listen. Let what has not yet arrived teach you how to trust. Let the doors still closed help you understand that I do not only want to give you good things, but also want you to become steady enough to keep them in peace. The Heavenly Mother is gently covering you with love, and I am also leading you step by step through the land of maturity. When the fullness of time comes, you will understand why some things had to wait, why some things had to leave, and why I prepared you so carefully before placing in your hands a blessing greater than anything you ever dared to pray for.